Where I get this number? I'm at list 4. Okay, there we go. I'm going to increase the volume again so that I can be a little bit more quiet. Okay. I'm going to start up Mars Logistics now. Okay. Our logistics in. This thing. I remember all too well. Control. There we go. Now, be right. Maybe a little bit more of the open terrain if that's easier. Doesn't seem to be quite as hard as what I did prior. Dying an uphill battle, ignorant of the uphill that I forced myself to go up for no good reason. Okay. First spot of the stream. Always, nonsense. And okay. Yeah. It may have been a few easier directions than this, but whatever. They were also the lamer directions, which I probably could have used, ignorant of how much I may be talking crap out my arse, but that's beside the point. Speaking of which, I was actually thinking of doing something. I was thinking of just removing this so that I can get 1x3 panel a little bit easier, as it's something that I don't have to explore for. Deliver the blob. Deliver the batteries. Deliver the beam. Go to something cooler. That's not cooler. So close. I was so close for so long. Yet so far. Oh, it's locked! Hello! Anyway, buffered immediately. Did you say anything? I said, that I was stupid. When I showed up, effectively. That was the journey. I went in, I tried to start Mars Logistics, and then I realized I forgot to turn on, effectively an app to try and help with certain issues with the computer, and, had to turn off Mars Logistics in order to access that app. Turned off Mars Logistics, went through a whole entire kerfuffle. Other than that, you didn't miss much. Also, you did miss, last stream. You see this tanker here? And you see these strings on the grappling hook, right? You see this big tanker that I'm holding with the claw, and these strings from the grappling hook, right? What happened is this little railing underneath the tanker got inside of one of the grappling hooks, like the hole met the string, and it flung this entire tanker a whole kilometer. Because it didn't like that. So, that happened. It slingshotted this entire tanker with a single grappling hook's power a full kilometer. Oh, my booty's moving. And I'm yelling. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, my boobies have requested a little bit of exploration time. So yeah, Ernan, get now loose. Oh, you're playing TF2? That's awesome. That's a well-ranked game. Or, well-ranked. Well-loved. Well-loved in the community of game. Lots of memes came from that game. About ridiculous things. Like women. Speaking of ridiculous things, I'm driving rather ridiculously because of this tanker on my back. How is it that when I want to go up a hill, this thing fights me to Kingdom Come, but when I want to go down a hill, it fights me to Kingdom Come? How does it always fight me? How is this the default situation? The innate state of affairs, as it would be. There we go. Now I can build fuel pipes. All that just to build fuel pipes. Because not enough was done yet. Anyway. Also, I have a floating actuator, so like I can make my machines float. That's technically also something that happened last episode, but I don't think anybody cares about that. But now my things float. I got floating things. Okay, so we got build a fuel pipe for a tanker. I can get a tanker. But I'd have to go into the stinking dark beyond. And of course there's build a power line, put a saw, deliver the ice cream, popcorn, build a power line, hydrogen tank. Alright, deliver the tank. I don't want to deliver another. Unless it's actually going to get me something. But I have I have one active. I have one active job. I am responsible for one activity. I'm going to complete that activity now. That was not the direction I was intending to go. But I cannot go the direction I was intending to go. I will change out to another vehicular device. I'm going to figure out how to pronounce English, and then I will get back to you later. On a later date. I mean, under technicality. Cap it out of this. Did that. So, why does that hate me? Because of course it does. Okay, so we've got this now. I'm guessing what I can. Anyway. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The stupid thing. And really wants to try. There we go. So we have now microsize the little atrocity yet again. For the purposes of chaos. And it comes down to it. On that, do I want to add like a second row? Sure. They believe that this is oh, clumsy me. I forgot that I have spacers for this. I forgot that I also have paint for this. Also, I don't really care about this thing as much. I'd much rather highlight my grappling hooks if I'm going to highlight anything on this stupid rock. I just remembered. Back. Thank you. Oh. This was an old tactic that I used to use, but I guess it doesn't work anymore. Oh. I am playing a marathon. I was playing a marathon earlier. It has a free weekend, and I thought, why not? You see, it symbolizes the struggle of life. Going up and going down hills. Indeed, going up and going down hills is a pretty constant inside of life. Not to mention what the crap is going on with the way that these things preset. Thank you. But, yeah. When it comes down to it, I've heard good things about TF2, so I don't really think I need an excuse to actively speak and see why someone would actively want to play that. It's a good game. Chaos here, chaos there. Chaos everywhere that you could imagine. If I did that. And aspects. Could I get away with mischief? Today on Dumb Things Done by Engineers. It's close. It is so close. It is so close. Oh, hello, little baby. I see your pretty sets. They're very pretty. What if it was a quarter spacer? What if I was just a little bit closer? Thank you for answering the question before I, like, putting effort into it. It didn't? Yeah. Baby, please don't do it. Baby. 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 Your intention to whine, I find quite confusing. Is it really that the Linux makes my computer so much quieter than this one? I think it is. I think it may be. Baby? Calm down. Ah. Here. Finish it up your spirits. You always did like a little bit of snuggle. Okay. I got a little snuggleug. And evidently my decision will not ease up unfortunately. But Vernon's happy, so it's not a moment. Oh, well. And well, that was found back. Yes, meow. Since you added an 8th marathon, the Bungie. You put added the 8th marathon. The Bungie reboot game. I assume you've never heard of it. Huh. Marathon. I've not heard of a Bungie reboot game actually, but I have heard of Destiny. That's about. Hey! Don't go clawing at me to get to a stupid bag triangle. Stupid little jelly beans, silly little jelly beans. Do the same actions over and over again. Do not pay attention to whether or not they actually produce new results. But, marathon. Marathon? I guess it's supposed to be marathon. But, you know, I've not heard of a marathon game. Although I do know. I know a few little Bungie things here and there. Like, I do recall that there's something about, like, Bungie, like, advising or being an advisory to the Badlands. Not Badlands, Borderlands. Yes, Borderlands, Badlands, that's effectively equivalent. It's close enough if you're drunk. But yeah, I've not heard of Marathon as a Bungie game. But I played Destiny. I actually did. Oh crap! I just peeked the mic. I did play Destiny one time, not like as a actual player, but as a guest. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just lower down that. Not as an actual player, but as a guest, someone else, because they wanted me to see what it was like. So I played around with it, with them for a little bit, and it was nice. I don't actually have an account over there, but it is a good game from my understanding. Past that, there's Halo that I have a negative experience with, but that's because I like running. I like to run into the enemy, and unfortunately that game seems to prioritize other directions with silly instances. But other than that, I also played some Borderlands, and Borderlands is generally speaking nice. So, I mean, 2 out of 3. That Marathon Route does not like to be a good game. Although, I have to keep my eyes peeled for my little babies committing mischief now. They seem to have woken up. Probably in no small part my own fault. Either way, though, is there anything here that I want to take care of? No. Nah. Nah. Okay. Currently, it's buffered for me right now, but I know it's on my side, so if you're saying anything to me, I may not hear. Now it's done. If you know your cats love you, just love you, you know? Like Marathon. So I have been pronouncing it incorrectly by calling it Marthon. Thank goodness. And yes, I do know that my little babies, my little Billy Beats love me. They have dreams of yonder, and I cannot provide. But it's one of their games, and they rebooted it recently into an extraction shooter. Ah, it's an extraction shooter. I've been fooled around with like something that made an extraction shooter mode. I'm gonna actually get over to this now so that I can actually get over to it at all. But yeah, I've played around with extraction shooter modes, but I haven't really gotten a extraction shooter game. To my knowledge. Oh, who knows? Sometimes I use terms for games and I'm incorrect and all that crap, so I got no idea whether or not I'm actually accurate on saying that, but I prefer to think so. Not that I wouldn't want to play the game. I mean, the extraction shooter that I messed around with was partially ridiculous, but I think that's kind of the point of extraction shooters after a certain point. They kind of are for the difficulty more than for the casual in and out, I guess. Woohoo! But, So, originally it wasn't a extraction shooter, but now it is an extraction shooter because they rebooted it. And that's what they rebooted it into. Yet again, Atrocity flips sideways, which is the one direction it's built not to flip to. And it did it anyway. Okay, switch that to 2, this will be 1, this will be 1. 1, not all 1. So that is what that is. And deliver this real quick. It's done and delivered. If it's the 7 out of 10 game I've ever played. It's the 7 out of 10 game I ever played. I like PvE. PvP is, I haven't got enough to try that, but I've been losing every single fight except for one I shot from the back, and the one I shot in the back. Well, if you want to try something within the weekend, it's an option. I'm willing to join into a party. Free weekend! Well, I mean, is PvE like multiplayer still, or is it just like single player if it's game applications? Because if you're talking like multiplayer PvE instead of multiplayer PvP, it might be something that I might be able to just jump into. But like if you're talking like PvP from get-go on something you're struggling so much with on PvE, it might get a little bit messy. I forgot! My dumb poopiners. I keep on looking at this and I'm like, I put it at the wrong side. Because like whenever I go into the map. Sorry. Hopefully I didn't start recording or anything. But whenever I go into the map, I cover up the missions and stuff. And I keep the instructions shut, which no one's really using over there. Yeah. There are other players hanging around. I'm a rat. I avoid conflict. and to loot things. Oh dear. Oh dear. A rat is amongst our midst. Okay, what's new here? Clover turbine. That's all not simple. Okay. But yeah. I'm actually gonna replace the original Little Chaos with this one. I'm gonna switch over to Carabiner. 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 But yeah. I might play that. I don't know. Does it have a run function? That'll be my question. Does it have a run function? Meow. Yeah, I'm making fun of you. Meow. 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 Okay. I might need to take my baby out for a little quick potty. Because I have a bit of a bad habit of not going. Actually, she did. Yeah, you can run away. I feel like I'm hearing things anyways. Running away is the only way I survive. Sniping is usually how I preferably maintain the ability to survive. I don't automatically avoid combat in that way, but I do like the occasional sniping. Although I don't like taking out players when you're talking about extraction shooters. That is something that I have noticed when I was playing the extraction shooter mode on Call of Duty Mobile. Yeah, she might just need to be outside of the room for a little bit, so figure something out as far as that goes. Probably have to be alone after or any for a little bit. I'll let you go on this. And you. Oh no. Actually, before I take you, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a second chance to potty, just in case. And then I'm gonna come back, ditch things. Let's get you over to a more quiet spot. Okay. Let's launch it. Because apparently that door doesn't work on occasion and that flying up in the middle of strings pretty good way to end up outside your own skin. Yeah. Running away is the only way to survive. There's an argument for that. Why is the watermelon? Look at my watermelon! Isn't that a great watermelon? Why is the watering can dancing? Well, it's not dancing anymore. That's the important part. Little baby. Oh, there was this one time where I knew. Mm-hmm. Said, let's just hack into a crate. Oh, you little. Oh, you did. Oh no. Oh no. You started a mission on purpose so that they would actually run into the sinking bulk of the load. That happened to me once actually on Call of Duty Mobile. I was on the opposite end of that actually. What's the point? Mostly not one hand. Safety. Referee Dillibeans is complaining, but I can handle one little complainer. No, I can't. Okay, but yeah, I was on the other end of. She's ready to come up. I'm gonna let her be inside of her little crate so that she feels safe, so that nothing happens, like jumping where wires are and such. Lost the fight, but good news is stabbing always works. And I cleaned up the rest of the NPCs. Yep. I was definitely on the other end of that because what happened with me was that I was like walking down a street. Okay, it was like nothing. I didn't realize what was about to happen when I was inside of that situation, except I was on the reverse end. I was just walking down the street, and then out of nowhere, I just walk in, and then like a level 3 enemy shows up, like a thinking, like not a boss, but something that has a stinking tanky health bar. While I was in the middle of the crowd of NPCs, it just spawned right on me. And then what happened with me was that I like ducked into a corner, went around, and then behind my back somebody runs up with an AK, and you'll never guess what happened when I had a sniper rifle, and CQC started with an AK behind my back. So that was my experience as far as that went. Like I had a tanky health bar guy in front of me, I had sniper rifle rounds and literally nothing else, and the fun only went from there. That was completely the wrong recipe. There we go. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay, what we got here? I don't know why I still have these cameras that I don't use on these meshes and materials. I like them, but like the vehicles with them, I can never use them for long. For right now, maybe that'll be fixed later. But for now, that isn't really as much an option. And I'm talking instead of doing the mission. That is something that's also interrupting my ability to do anything. Easy. Anyways, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible shot. Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's just when it comes down to like players inside of certain games, you have got to realize something important. In real life, and like realism isn't a rule for me. It's one of those things like I feel like realism is a tactic, not a rule. Generally, rule-wise, consistent detail, I would call more a rule of fiction, and realism is just a tactic to achieve it. But when you're talking about this case in real life, human beings cannot go 5 feet just because they hit a space bar. So at one end, yes, you're probably missing your shots. At the other end, it could be because they're suddenly able to fly out of nowhere. So there is a reason why the inconsistency may occur. Now, and at the opposite end of it, that can be adjusted for, but it isn't something that's done overnight. There we go. I did a flip. He was basically standing perfectly still. I have no excuse. I mean, there is still an excuse, but that is kind of bad. Actually, I've got a story as far as, like, standing perfectly still happened one time. This is why I hate shotguns in video games. Okay, this is actually something that happened to me. You know in Looney Tunes, where, like, it shows, like, a dude in the middle of a flipping barn door, and, like, a guy shoots at him, and then the bullet spray just, like, peppers around them in every single direction, and just, like, outlines them with bullets? That happened to me with a shotgun. Like, I shot at them, like, dead on 3 different times. I was pointing at them, and just the bullets literally just outlined them every single time. There was, like, 2 on one end and 5 on the other, okay? 2 to his left, 5 on his right, pellets just landing on the wall. And the dude was completely unscathed. Where it's like, okay, I had no control over that because that's literally all the bullets that far out of a shotgun when you're talking about, like, buckshot. That's like... that's a roulette. Okay, that is the definition of a little, like, mid-air roulette. And, I lost the roulette, and I literally quit the match because of that, because it's just like, okay, I don't have a good enough connection to, like, play this game right now. Very clearly, because that is, like, not supposed to be physically possible. The center of the bullet swab is not supposed to split perfectly by an opponent. Like, at least one of those, like, balls should have hit the enemy. One of my many balls. 7, specifically, I think, yeah. Because Call of Duty had, like, a 7 pepper spray. 7 bolt spray for, like, buckshot at that point, I guess. Whatever you'd call the average ammunition, combat ammunition of a random shotgun in Call of Duty Mobile. Which, yes, I'm talking about Call of Duty Mobile, not Call of Duty, like, Black Ops or anything. I'm not saying that this is, like, a general quality failure. I'm talking that this is a mobile failure. I don't know how bad it is on normal games, but yeah. I still killed them off at the end. That happens to me with every gun. I don't know why. Either I aim really well or I am really bad. I mean, I miss all the time, and I'm, like, on Call of Duty, I think over, like, 10,000 headshots or something like that. Although, like, that's not really much to say, because, like, I have, like, a 1 KD. So for every kill, I get 1 death. On average. Although that's a little bit of an exaggeration, because that's counting back when I was a scrub. And when I was a scrub, I didn't care if there were cheaters in the match, I'd just keep on playing. I didn't mind how much I died, so, like, my original KD was horrible, and I'm still fighting it to this day. Except I've stopped playing Call of Duty Mobile, so I don't really, like... I don't play Call of Duty Mobile anymore just because I got bored of it, and that's why I kind of stopped fighting the KD anyway. I still miss my M4 backstrapper, though. I do love that. Stupid piece of crap. It's just an M4 with a flippin' chainsaw, but I love it. Impractical? Most certainly, but, like, it is a beautiful looking piece of mesh work. And just a beautiful pun in the same turn as well. What we would call well done. Oh, I forgot. This is not that. It's not that guy. It's not that guy. Alright, is that little spot? There we are. And I'll live. Okay. That was a bad decision. There we go. There we are. That should straighten out soon. Because the natural pull of things. There we go. I feel like I should have checked if there was an easier way. Like going around like I told myself to. And I didn't. Why did I do this? Also, by the way, just like a general rule of thumb, when you're talking about combat, I do want to actually note this, because like first-person shooters generally have this rule, and that's like, higher terrain, higher risk, but like, more likelihood to like, land your shots. So like, if you're fighting a sniper, if he's got the higher terrain, you're screwed. But like, if you've got the higher terrain, he's looking up to actually like, try and get you. Which in real life isn't like that hard. Okay. But like, it's harder for him to automatically just see you, versus when you're talking about when you're higher up, looking down you can see a lot more. But by the same implement, like, if you're being silly about it and you're higher up, then it's very quick to see you. Like, that's not the place to run around the place, but if you're like slowing down, looking around the place, trying to find enemies, that might be a better point to check from. Still, that's also with proper camouflage, which I do inside my games, and it does actually, like, that. It's like one of the weirdest things with me. When it comes down to, like, when I play Call of Duty, when I played Call of Duty, when I did camouflage, or when I didn't do camouflage, I had, like, roughly 5 kills, and when I did do camouflage, I had consistently 10 over and over again. Like, 10 kills over and over again, because I just would rush in fast enough that, like, they'd see it, they'd be like, ah, that's just a artifact or whatever, and then they'd die. I'd still get shot, but I wouldn't get shot enough to actually instantly die, and I'd actually be able to recover, whereas they, generally speaking, would be stuck in panic mode, and they'd shut down. But, what are you supposed to do when the road's literally attacking you? So, it's an understandable response, but it is also a useful one to me, so I don't mind abusing such things. Mwahahahahahaha. But yeah, we're talking about that though. High ground, risky ground, but useful ground. It's high risk, high reward. So if you've got like a long range weapon, meaning high damage, low fire rate, great place to be. If you do not, avoid it with all that you have available to you to do so with. I mean, the low fire rate's not automatically necessary, it's just the high damage that's really needed. High damage, high range. The point is that you have to take less shots to take out an opponent far quicker. Okay. It's actually one of my issues. Oh, whatever. I'm not gonna go down the route of that. That's inappropriate. At that point, you're being stinky. I don't want to be stinky right now. Or more accurately, I don't want to be stinky for no reason. I don't want to be rude to someone who has an automatic favorite. And the whole entire company has not earned my objection just because I have a few problems with their game decisions. It would be what we would call uncalled for. Especially when, like, the majority of it is like, small crap, not like. I would like for you to flip back, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to do that. So. Come on. There we are. Doesn't seem like there's any easier route than this one, so I'm gonna have to continue going down this one. Whee! I forgot to put on the music box. Now I'm singing random music. I was random musicking. Woo. I didn't really know why. Oh, wow. It was a fighting chance. Oh, felt deep time throughout the wilderness. Something I don't know. Couldn't really tell where this would be. Every single path made no sense to me. But still I'm here, so I guess that I will play something else in the stupid game. There was something that I was thinking of. Oh, no, I can't sing that. What's the next name? Yeah, I remembered that little remix I did. I mean, it's technically clean, but not really. If you take things too literally, it's plain, but that's not the intended purpose. I built something with a random mission. Wahahaha. Ah, I now have refined taste. And a 3x3 panel. Okay, so what do we got here? I got Silver Step Ladder. That is within... Like, I can do that now. Is there anything else that I can do that will get me anything? I'm checking for like a blue undertone. No. No, all of it's just money.
Oh, it's just money.
Yeah, I can do this real quick. I have now decided that I hate using F for, fast travel, because what the crap was that? Okay. So, it happened? There's something that I was hoping to do. Whacked it. That's a 3x3 plate. Can I afford one of these? Yeah, I can. It's expensive though, and that's ridiculous. I'm gonna have to buy a bunch of these so that I can start making drones and stuff. So that I can stop the art of war. I actually do want to start testing these. Okay, so how about what we do is we hook this up with this jumper. Don't be stupid. Maybe I shouldn't have made that joke. I'll figure that out later. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out the ambient strength of the southeastern swallow. We're going to see, is this all? Both of these are space. How does this do? Ah. Oh no. Lost. How am I supposed to get down now? There we go. That solved that problem. Okay, now we're gonna compare that with this. And see the power difference. That is genuinely ridiculous. The difference in fuel efficiency is actually just shameful. Okay, so, generally speaking, you know what, like, this is more expensive! Why? Why do they balance these in this way? This makes no sense. Better fuel efficiency for weight and application. Higher price. Like, it's a little bit faster, I guess, but like... You don't? I'm at the very least tactically smart. My strong suit is a mid-range combat. Oh, yeah, okay, I've a couple of knuckleheads. A couple of knuckleheads like you. No, I'm joking. But I've met a couple of people who actually have that strength. It's not a bad strength to have. You know, you could just say how it is if you want. I could say how it is if I want, but like... That's asking for trouble sometimes, but at the opposing end of it, I don't really mind asking for trouble if trouble asks for me. But when you're talking about some rando, I don't want to just ruin someone's day for no good reason. If there is a good reason, like it'll actually change something, I'll actively speak and do something. But like if you're talking about just going around the corner to face on someone just because you're angry, I don't automatically feel like that's the best course of action. If you could actively spend a little bit more time and of course, like, you shouldn't be forced to. Okay, when you're talking about, like, it's nice to walk back when you realize you're probably not going to help and you're probably just going to be complaining. But nice is not a necessity. Okay? When you're talking about the idea of complaining and you know that it'll probably help something, that's when I actually do feel like it's pretty important. And there's a few people doing that right now. They got a lot bigger voices than I do, but I'm a small little squeaky thing, and the most likely thing I'm going to do is just push people away from listening to the big guys. So I'm going to leave those things off to those of whom can actually speak with an actual voice. And a lot of people like that game that I was thinking about complaining about, so I'd be more likely to piss them off than actually help in the actual game development space anyway. So I want to, yes I can, but at the other, it's not wise to. I'm not going to help anything by doing that. I'm just gonna hurt, and I don't feel like that's proper. Seeing how it is. One thing now, I'm finding players every second. What the? Oh gosh. Oh, you poor soul. I'm sorry that I missed that. Good luck. Good luck, young child of war. I'm gonna take this off real quick. I'm putting my stinking sillies off. I'm sweating, I said that. Good luck, young child of war. With the newfound luck of players arriving towards me, I'm going to accept the mission of killing players. Good luck with that. See, that's the thing with me. I don't want to accept those missions. I understand they exist, but I don't usually want to accept them. Because, again, like when you mess with players, they are apt to remember. So, like, when they hunt me for an extended period, yeah, I'll knock them out, no question. But if they haven't, like, messed with me, I'm not going to mess with them. That's a general rule of things, because the important thing to remember with a human being is that they are the most fragile prey and the most dangerous predator. They have a dedication that no other creature on Earth really has replicated so far. Even the mythical Mama Bear forgets long enough to take care of her gun. Mama Human? Not so much. Then again, human beings have the ability to look up on the internet where you are, and bears don't really have that shtick. They have scent. Useful, but limited. Oh yes, I remember that I did that. My horns activate whenever... My honkers activate whenever I turn on the P-ites. My lovely little honkers at the front. Not usually into little honkers, but, you know. Not really a little honker kind of guy. But in this case... And I probably should stop that sentence before I get myself in trouble. What the crap is this thing doing? There we go. When it sounds like that, how can you hear this, you know? Come on. course, I forget what I was just doing. Go with the quickest solution that I have available to me instead of what I was trying to do. Since this isn't going to carry anyone, yeah, I'm willing to put this through walls and garbage to make it done. I can go 100. I can go 1,500 meters. I don't know what the heck a meter is, so it'd be like 1 kilometer. But 1 kilometer, 0.5. I'm measuring in kilometers now. How my forefathers would be disappointed. I don't really know what they mean, but I'm going to pretend like I do. What obstruction? It is a minor hill. Get over it. It is what we would refer to as a minor obstruction. A minor obstruction. Not an extensive mission required. Yeah. Ah, perfect. When will I recall what I just did? This is why I feel like control sterilization in this game with the grappling hooks is a bit of a problem. See, this is where I'm gonna say it as it is. The control sterilization with the grappling hooks is a bit of a problem for me. That's because it's valid, it's actually right here. There's like a reason to fill it out. There's an example which I can use, which is the fact that when I'm trying to shoot with one of the grappling hooks, I over and over again detach it because the actual detach mode on the grappling hooks is the detach signal is the same as the attach signal for the grappling hooks instead of something where it actually has some sort of check to prevent that kind of thing. So that, like, I could, for instance, instantly go flip one side, flip the other side, flip my car. Instead, it, actively speaking, has to be like a 1 second delay so that I don't accidentally detach. That is a complaint I am more than willing to provide. That is because the example is right here. I walked in there. If I want to click in there, I attach over there. And I forgot. Okay. Yeah, it's just the U-don't from when I was floating in the air. Ah, a beautiful response. A beautiful response by the Lost One. Okay. An apt one. I would definitely say that. An apt response. And here we go. How about I just reset and see where that guy go? How did I go? That seems to work pretty well. That didn't. But we can pretend. There we go. we go. Okay. How far am I? Oh. Posh, posh. Apparently I'm going to speak in tea and biscuits today. Posh, posh. Posh, posh. Yeah. Different birds can eat it. I have coffee. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said it like that because that is actually someone. Currently trying to survive. I prioritize survival in this case. I do not mind a missing comment. I don't even like streaming, so like, go for it. Take care of those ruffians. The devil! I said as I grabbed my powder wig and flintlock rifle. I put a golf ball-sized hole in the first one. He was dead on the spot, just as the founding fathers intended. I still have a little whip. Leave and never return. Smeagol says that with such glee, doesn't he? It's admirable. The best way to say no trespassing I've ever heard. Leave and never return. Smeagol doesn't want you here. It's private property. And I don't usually agree with Smeagol, but in that case, that's a respectable decision. A very good one. And that should really feel like a little doorbell. Somebody goes up, packages. Ooh, I'm never return. It's a stinking doorbell. That'd be perfect. Thank you for acquiring the structure I was actually pointing at. You silly machine. Oh, actually. Speaking of silly machines, I seem to have placed this incorrectly. And I'll take it. I do love the little my hunker's at work. Now they're massive honkers. They're massive for their size. Okay, they are massive honkers at heart. I should really stop talking. I am trying to make it work and it is not. Was not meant to be. Okay. Speaking of which, hour in, and now I'm gonna start up the fuel pipe grab, which will take a little bit, but I can do.
And then I get the tanker.
The tanker?
The tanker. You know the tanker? What about the tanker?
Ooh. First time to get construction. Come on. That should be it. A 3x4 panel. Okay, first. Lower microwave, set the ladder, lower that, lower that.
None of this is useful. It's a boy.
Now, that's 4,000 single party flippin' floppers. Nothing. So now we will get myself a tanker. A tanker. Field fuel pipes. A tank is tanking the tanks. Okay, so we've got we've got to go uphill. I tank the tank is gonna tank the tanks. I tank a lot. I tank about the whole times of life. A tankless task, really. Just going ballistics. I guess I can go a full kilometer before flopper, which means that I can wait until that thing reaches point 1, whatever the heck that means. Not point 1, just straight up 1. So... it's punishing me for trying to figure out what a kilometer is. That's what I don't like about meters, people. They always punish you for asking what the heck a meter is. They're like, you don't know what a meter is? Well, go off and shove it up your... Anyway, I can found it. That's what meter paper's like. That's my experience. It stinks. So I was like, how do you convert stinking map that I was using into inches? And it's like, you want to know that because you're stupid. And I'm like, no. That's not how all meters people are like. There's plenty of meters people are just nice, but functionally speaking, when you go on the internet and the first thing is just a guy with a inability. Inability to just sit down, give an answer without going on about how much it stinks that you don't use meters. It gets a bit extensive. I miss my inches. Where did my inches and feet go? It is what it is. Okay, so what are we talking here? 0.5, probably a wise idea to switch to this thing. There we go. And that should be clear. It should be in the clear. There we go. But I automatically cannot because this thing is grappling hooks. Just increase. Is now got a drink. Carbonated assistance that I have. Oh, that's good. You have carbonated assistance? Oh, actually, he's still surviving. You know what? This is not survival music. Someone is surviving in the background. There we go. I don't know if this is survival music either, but it sounds better than it was. I never got an answer on whether or not that game had one button, I don't think, but I guess I wasn't paying good enough attention. I might have missed that. Marathon. It's been fun, gotta go, dying battery. Mom left me! Mom, no! I can't see anything about that one, but it's not. Oh, I forgot to do the check. I don't think I can at this point. Oh. Situation saved. Anchors. See that right there? That would be input sterilization complications. Well, I guess that is also a punishment for me not allowing the honk to retain. Yonk gets yonkening. Sometimes I question where this fuel pipe decides that it's the most logical direction to go. Seems a questionable decision making. It says it's able to realize where it's supposed to go, but it so often doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna go over that hill, see if that helps. And then I might even be in building range. Okay, how about boom shakalaka. Okay. I got a tanker. I tinker a tanker. Oh no. What are the things that I just put? A full tank. I tinker a tanker, a tanker, a tinker. I tankered a tanker. What the heck was that? So what did I just acquire? A tanker. A tanker that tankers that is a tanker. A tanker man. So what are the new things I just got? A motorized joint. Oh! Okay, so those my arms can now function properly. Applies torque. Like these, but actually can. Okay, that's very good. And a slide rail. Okay. And other than that, I have a 3x4 panel. It's been playing up for a few seconds currently. Okay. So the way that this works is that... Oh. Okay. Okay, I get what this is for. I understand this. Okay, and then... Oh. Oh, good gravy. That is slow. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and, combine that with that, and do that. Actually, no, that's wrong. That should be correct. And in that way, I can also just gonna go over controls wise, switch that to 1, switch that to 1. So forward is right, forward is right. That is what I was looking for. And then on this end, don't think that there's grappling hook complications. I do want to buy some more of these soon, but I'm gonna buy them after. I don't know how much torque they actually have in comparison to the ones I'm using currently. It's simpler, so it should be balanced by being bad at applying torque. So we'll see whether or not they actually balanced it, or if they just said, you know what, let's just give you a free ride here. Finally, we're gonna also apply a Quaker-based grappling hook system. I think I'm gonna actually apply this at the back. Oh. I'm gonna apply it at the back, wisely. This is definitely where some complications come in. One. Actually, let's change these to all. That way I could switch to 2, and it wouldn't be able to do anything. So, I'm guessing I have to go back from whence I came. At which point I get the full generator application. What is this? Side up that, side up that. Ice cream. Anything new? Nope. But I can deliver a full tanker with this device custom built to accomplish the task. So the point of it... Oh wait, no, it's really stupid. I see this now. That is actually something that I can do. I can take this too. Okay, and I really reset it like this because I didn't actually want it to reset at all, but I didn't get close to that. There we go. So that is supposed to contain the device properly. And then I should be able to get over there, but I know full well that I need to go around. So I'm going to actually just go around. Honestly, I might be able to go through there, but me. So, first off, I'm gonna check out this guy.
Hey there.
I have died 3 or so times. I have reached bankruptcy. Bye, lost. Bye. Congratulations, lost. You have also possibly made me fail my mission. Oh, nope, I got. You may not be alone. Oh gosh, I could have. I could have set up. You know, this was so easy to do. Actually, I'm gonna have to do that until after. Where is my switches? There. G equals W. Switch that to 2. And then if this thing could just go a little bit faster. Not even that hard in comparison to. Ooh, that's actually quite the perfect spot. I do prefer using shift as accept in this particular regard, but it is what it is. Okay. 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 Anything else? Nice. Now I can go automatically to my next destination. All I need to do is just partial inputs here and there to ensure that the device does not spin out. Although might have been wiser to use a NOT gate to ensure that it's actually partial thrust, not actually full thrust consistently. That way it would allow for a little bit of slower movements, because just for these more delicate things, I'm finding a requirement to slow down. Although I can just, yeah. I can counteract the direction a little bit. There we go. A lot of this just breaks down to how do I speed up without flying on my side. There we go. That is where the rail system comes in. The rail system has failed me because I failed the rail system. Again, input sanitization. I say that like anyone knows what that means. Yeah. Okay. I gotta be honest, this is actually taking way less time than the last time that I actually speaking transported this tanker, so I am not automatically complaining. Well, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that. I could also shoot myself in my own foot. That wouldn't exactly be the wisest decision to actually achieve. And yet I'm having had achieved it. Okay. Yep, definitely a weaker device. I gotta actually lock these up just so that they don't end up getting in the way. And then I can hopefully acquire the direction that I am attempting to go. Yep. So glad that I chose to use this integrally designed system. Might actually be able to recover the tanker here, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a go. Okay. 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 Why is it gonna go back on us? Oh, no, but not without some assistance. Veracity, this is your cue. Oh. And you know what, since I'm at this, and I'm going to probably be using this for an unfortunate period of time. Put that there. No, put that there. And restart in the actual valve direction, and then space out. So that I can... Yes, that's function. This is going to take a very long time for no good reason that I can see whatsoever. Okay. On. Vehicular manipulation in this case is not as much of an ability as I was told. Is there like a hook on the other side too? Nope, just this one. Ran. Come on. Just open fella. I'm losing my mind. No, in this case. I'm not playing the game. They clearly don't want me to. Not what we would call a preferable situation, but it is a situation that is somewhat better than what it was 5 seconds ago. I find my optimism I wouldn't even call it optimism at that point. I just call it ignorance of what's ahead of me. Whatever. Yeah, just there we go. I physically cannot see where I'm pointing. However. Problem with third-person games. I know they have to get out of your way, but closing out of it. In this case, it's supposed to be. Getting ready the barracks, and fire.
Whee!
So this thing has not been updated. Okay. This is what I'm gonna be using for a little bit. I'm gonna turn on the light. How long have I streamed in stream for? 4 minutes. I'm not ending another stream on this stupid fuel tanker. Why does my atrocity not have its floating actuator? Flotating actuator. Because this isn't my atrocity? What? What's going on? Oh, I guess I gave it to the cup holder instead. You know what? Let's just actually try and knock this out. So let's do position, see if I can actually get some distance. If I just I guess this should. let's try and get him to fall on his belly. Oh, I got him to... Wait. Oh. Torso is the most inconvenient task. Where in which it can fail, it will fail, and has already failed. Fools of Mars logistics. Never trust the physics. They are literally against you. Okay. 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 There you go. There you go. Let's actually do things now. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be trying to break this thing. Then hook into it. Preferably. No. Oh, come on! I hate this thing so much sometimes. Why would I respawn here? I was literally on the open ground. Come on. Got this. I don't actually know if I got this, but I want to get this done by now, so we're just going to get these as far as that goes. See what we can do. Get this thing to go where I want it to, and then to stop. No. No. There. And I'll try to put this just slightly. I don't think adjust slightly is going to be a shtick here, but I'm going to try with this thing. Get it to see where the anchor hole is not a point of balance. Come on, this is just... Come on, come on, come on. Fine. Fine. You see this? It weighs so much, and yet I can just ram it. Okay, so what I'm thinking about trying here is just straight up reorganizing it so as to allow more units usage. Torch. Things currently very much in a very bad position. Best way to get it fixed. Just turn it like. And let's switch to this. I want to look at it. This is the kind of things that I can do if I'm just not actively trying to just not go to that or crap like that. Because like a few of these times when I was messing with the tank, I was a little bit like fighting. Fuel is very important. I'm just doing some work right now. And it worked on it. Fuel is not. What the? Lower down. There we go. Okay. The fuel is not as important as work. I feel like that is 100% valid thing to focus in on. Get your work done. Especially when I'm making input sterilization mistakes like this. Alright. Oh. Almost there, back where you were. There we go. Okay, this thing needed a lot more wheels. I'm literally in the opposite direction of where I was trying to point. Like I've said before, Mars Logistics. Physics is literally against you. This game, it just... The physics engine, I don't know what they did. But every direction I try to go... it's much less it's much less of a hassle just to go up at this point. What the crap? I hate this game so much sometimes. What the heck was that? Why am I yet again pointed in the completely wrong direction? Why am I... Of course I look away and it goes literally backwards because it has... absolutely no way when I'm trying to knock it around, but the minute that I stick it inside the vehicle, it is just the heaviest thing you've ever had to deal with. And that is ignoring the situation with, you know, whatever. There we go. Yeah. There we go. And of course it's on its belly again because they didn't raise the wheels at all. That didn't work. And the tanker is yet again loose. And in the wild. Yet again. Even the glitches. Come on. With the grappling hooks, just go to a location. They don't actually, like, have a weight-based attraction. They have a jurisdiction-based attraction because they're trying to go to a location. They're not trying to apply thrust on the vehicle. Okay. Rocket constructed. I hate this tanker. He's a rocket man. Going around town the whole time. Okay. I can get a rocket for that one, or I can deliver a generator. Oh, I gotta go find them. Anything else on the side job wise? It's been 2 hours already. It's 3 o'clock. I could shut off now. Probably would be good for Mom. If I don't find anything I have any interest in, deliver orb, deliver umbrella.
Deliver the orb. Deliver the umbrella.
Yeah, I know. The only thing I can do at this point is just effectively, you know what? I don't think I can do. I can just literally get to this point. Okay. That's gonna be the last thing I do. I'm just gonna literally get there on screen so that, I can accept the mission tomorrow. So, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna hit whatever the heck I just hit, and we're gonna, you know, man, this thing is way slower than the Octo cycle. The Octo cycle. I'm supposed to say Octo cycle. Not sure. Yeah, that's also a thing that I can do real quick. And I'll do that. Let's go here. Where's the 45? I got 5 45s. And that's a deal. And then we got that. Okay. Why do I have to go over that? What is mentioned in the scene? There are other directions to be taken. But if I do, I'm more likely to succeed. Okay, my boosters are boosters definitely, but they're not like super boosters. They do not have this thrust. But I don't really know how much I need them to have super thrust in most situations. I'm just trying to use them for speed in this case. Yeah, my little baby is expressing a desire to go to my room so that they can get some stuns. Means that we must use super boosters for my little baby sake. Okay. Let's get this done early. Come on. Oh yeah. Hello, remote outpost. Thank you for the boosters. I know there's one over there, but I guess that's out of range. I need to go over here somewhere. Oh, baby. Baby, are you sad? No, freedom. You know, I'm not gonna get that automatically. But yeah, I think that the best place to put the next one is over there. So I went up the wrong hill. I'm out of the wrong hill. And I'm empty. I'm so sick and empty, but you have anything. Oh, she's so sad. Yeah, I gotta get done soon. Come on, flip again. My signal's only getting weaker. There you go. Baby. You red like a girl. Definitely. Where is the signal for this coming from then? Great. I'm gonna go over here. Okay. Okay, so I can fast travel there. Myself a nice convenient refill. Apparently I already did. How did I end up in this situation? Come on. I'll have to build up enough velocity. Whatever. I could just do this. Or I could have just hit the reset button. That probably was preferable. Okay, come on, just one last little push. And that should be it. That should literally be it. That should hopefully be it. Please, 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 please cooperate. Please cooperate. Please cooperate. Okay. And this is literally just a kilometer away. I'm gonna go over here. animal we can drop. Drop. That should be it right there. Okay. This is it. Oh yeah, she's done. She's done. She is done. She don't wanna be in here no more. Okay, then that is that. Any other things real quick? Nope. Then I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, can I show it for a second? There we are. Gonna give Lost a second to say goodbye, piece of cheese or whatever the crap blip blip. Like or dislike as you will. If you subscribe, welcome to the ride. Don't die, it's not fun, and toodles. Toodles. Farm.